The story begins with a few news articles revealing that a U.S. company, Tion Industries, is conducting drilling operations at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Because of this, a team has been stationed there. Let me tell you, the Mariana Trench is the deepest point on Earth, approximately 35,000 feet deep in the Pacific Ocean, and it's owned by the U.S. This exploration is incredibly deep. However, some environmentalists were raising concerns about how ethical this drilling was, as it could disturb Earth's natural processes. Moreover, drilling so deep could destabilize water pressure, putting the lives of the scientists and engineers stationed there at risk. Despite these risks, Tion Industries continued the exploration. Now, the story shifts to a woman named Norah, who worked in the mechanical department of this exploration. She was currently living at the deepest station, Kepler, with her team. One morning, she wakes up, brushes her teeth, and reminisces about her lover. From her thoughts, we learn that they are no longer together, and Norah feels deeply saddened. Suddenly, she hears the sound of water dripping from a nearby corridor. Just as she tries to figure out what's happening, a massive explosion occurs, and water starts flooding the station rapidly. Norah screams for her teammates to evacuate their rooms and barely makes it to the main control room, called the bulkhead. Meanwhile, a man named Rodrigo also reaches the bulkhead and urgently tells Norah to seal the door, which was crucial. However, Norah hesitates, waiting for two more teammates who were rushing toward the room. At this point, she can't wait any longer and seals the bulkhead. The impact of the water hitting the door creates immense pressure, knocking Norah and Rodrigo unconscious. When they regain consciousness, they realize they're safe, but the lower part of the bulkhead has completely collapsed. They speculate that this disaster might have been caused by an earthquake, which disrupted the water pressure, destroying their station. Attempts to contact others via radio fail, but they hear strange noises outside. Now, their only goal is to reach the evacuation pods to escape to the surface. As they move forward, Norah finds a power station and resets the breakers. Rodrigo comforts her, saying she shouldn't blame herself for the deaths of the other two teammates since he was the one who told her to seal the door. Norah then learns that the evacuation pods are in Unit C7, so they head there. Along the way, they discover their ship is completely wrecked. Navigating through dangerous paths, they find another teammate, Paul, still alive, and rescue him. Now, the three of them crawl their way to C7, where they find Captain Lucien, who delivers bad news. The remaining evacuation pods are gone because he had already sent other team members to safety. Norah, shocked, asks why he didn't leave himself. The captain explains that it's a captain's duty to ensure everyone else's safety before his own. Here, we learn that the captain had a young daughter who died at 14, but he never shared this grief with anyone. Not even Norah. The group moves to the control panel, where two research assistants, Emily and Smith, are still alive. Throughout the scene, violent tremors and eerie sounds continue outside. Norah warns them that they have little time because the cooling towers, which stabilize the station, are destroyed. If they don't leave soon, the pressure will cause the station to explode. The captain decides they'll escape to the Roebuck station by descending via a lift to the base, then walking diagonally to Roebuck. Rodrigo suggests checking the nearby Shepherd station for pods, but the captain refuses, saying Shepherd is completely destroyed. Suddenly, they hear high-frequency noises, but can't figure out their source. Emily panics while putting on her suit, but Smith calms her. Rodrigo discovers his helmet is faulty and gives it to Norah. As they prepare to jump into the lift, Rodrigo's helmet shatters due to water pressure, killing him instantly. This reveals that he had taken the faulty helmet himself to save Norah. Emily has a panic attack, but the team manages to calm her. Norah jumps into the lift, and the group safely reaches it. They mourn Rodrigo, but soon detect signals of another survivor outside. Paul and Smith go to investigate, but find no one, just an evacuation pod entangled in algae-like substance. Inside, they find a wallet, suggesting someone was there. Suddenly, a strange creature grabs Paul. They see a liquefied corpse inside the algae and realize the creature is feeding on it. They kill the creature, which has octopus-like tentacles, and bring it back to the lift. Emily examines the creature, but it suddenly screeches, terrifying everyone. The lift's electrical system fails, and something massive starts banging on it from outside. The cables snap, and the lift plummets toward the ocean floor. The captain instructs them to flood the lift to balance the pressure and avoid a crash. They barely survive and begin moving through pipelines toward the Midway station. Smith is severely injured, but they press on. They realize they can't ride to Midway and must walk. Their troubles worsen as the pipes are jammed. They're now just 300 meters from Midway, but find the path blocked. Norah dives underwater to explore a gap and finds a way forward. The team swims through one by one. Paul, the last to go, panics when he senses an entity nearby. The others pull him to safety, but an unseen creature drags him through the wall, killing him. Now, the team has lost 2 members, Rodrigo and Paul. They reach Midway Station where the captain tries contacting the base station but fails. Slowly, they realize their drilling disaster wasn't caused by an earthquake, but by an external force, the same one that killed Paul, cut the lift's wires, and is now hunting them. Emily suggests that because they've taken so much from the ocean, drilling deep into its floor, it's now seeking revenge. But they can't comprehend what kind of entity could exist at such depths. The captain refuses to give up and plans to proceed, though Smith's broken suit makes it risky. Smith urges them to leave him, but no one agrees. They're now in a drill hole, aiming to reach the ocean floor for rescue. Norah spots a terrifying entity outside. They turn off their lights, as the creatures are attracted to light. Emily screams, but she's not really there. It's a hallucination. The captain finds Smith unconscious and tries to save him. With no weapons, they're defenseless. The entity drags Norah away, but she escapes. The captain gets trapped in algae, and just as Norah tries to save him, the entity attacks again. The captain jumps in to protect Norah, but the water pressure crushes him. Norah is thrown into a deserted area where sea monsters attack her. She barely escapes and reaches the Shepherd Station, which wasn't her destination, but offers temporary shelter. She recharges her oxygen tank and finds Captain Lucien's locker, discovering a picture of his deceased daughter. This devastates Norah, who now feels hopeless. She equips herself with a suit and weapon from Shepherd and heads toward Roebuck. Along the way, she hears Emily's voice. She and Smith are still alive, searching for help. They regroup and plan to drag the unconscious Smith to Roebuck. Norah and Emily share deep conversations. Norah reveals her fiancé, Smith's best friend, died during a night dive, leaving her traumatized. Emily confesses her love for Smith. As they near Roebuck, they're horrified to find the entrance swarming with sleeping sea monsters. Emily's oxygen is nearly depleted, forcing them to move quietly in the dark. But her suit's warning light and sound alert the creatures, which attack. Norah tells Emily to go ahead while she fights the monsters. One creature swallows her, but she shoots her way out. Suddenly, a high-frequency screech echoes. The monster's leader, a colossal entity, appears. Norah flees, triggering an explosion that sends them crashing into Roebuck's bulkhead. They seal the door, and Emily breaks Norah's helmet to save her from suffocation. They find 3 evacuation pods, but Norah's is dysfunctional. She lies, sending Smith first. When Emily realizes Norah's pod won't work, she refuses to leave without her. Norah convinces her to go, sacrificing herself. Alone, Norah sees the monstrous entity outside. Unafraid, she decides to destroy the station's cooling towers, causing an explosion that kills the creature and herself. In the end, news articles reveal Emily and Smith as the sole survivors. The U.S. halts the operation, destroying all evidence. Tian Industries, however, remains eager to resume drilling. The film ends with a critique of corporations prioritizing profit over human life. So, that's the detailed breakdown of Underwater. While it's a survival thriller, its master theme is cosmic horror because it incorporates elements from H.P. Lovecraft's mythology, specifically the entity Cthullu, a giant oceanic monster with cosmic origins. Though the movie adapts it loosely, the themes of an ancient, vengeful force align with Lovecraft's work, keeping audience engaged in the horrifying and thrilling presence of the film. That's all. Thanks.